Hello my dear friends, welcome to Movie Revisit. Hope you all are good. Today I am going to review an adventure film named Uncharted. At the beginning of the film, two brothers are seen. Nate was given to Nathan, the youngest of the two. Both brothers enter a museum with the intent of stealing a map. In the meantime, cops arrive and remove the youngsters to an orphanage. They were born without parents and have lived in an orphanage their entire lives. Nate's older brother attempted to take the map several times. Because Nate and his brother are descended from a pirate family, the treasure was disclosed via the map. The officer is informed by the orphanage's sister. Because Nate's older sibling is still young, you can take him. Because he used to rob despite being restrained. Nate's older brother, on the other hand, refuses to surrender to the authorities. As a result, he makes the decision to leave. He goes inside his room to pack his possessions. "I can't live without you," Nate tells his older brother. Nate receives a necklace from his older brother, as well as a lighter and a letter. "I'll surely come back," he says as he walks away. After his elder brother has left, Nate opens the letter. After turning on the lighter's light, he receives a message. It was written with the understanding that we came from a family of pirates. We'll probably certainly cross paths. After that, the scene shifts and we see the period after 15 years have gone. Nate, now an adult, is seen working in a pub. Furthermore, he used to rob. A man named Victor paid Nate a visit while he was working in a pub. He tells him that he and his brother are acquainted to him. He states that they worked together in the past. Nate, on the other hand, had no desire to learn about it. He instructs Victor to go, but on the way out, he gives him a card. The card has Victor's address inscribed on it. In the next scenario, Nate enters his home. He notices the map that he and his brother attempted to steal when he arrives. Meanwhile, Victor shows up and says that if you had shown up, you would have told me. Victor learns from Nate that this is the same map that so many others are hunting for. This is a map of a treasure. Many people have devoted their life to this cause without seeing any results. This was a waste of time. Victor assures Nate that this isn't a pointless story. "I'm sure you and your brother are both well versed on this map." Victor later presents Nate with a book and a ship image. This isn't just any ship, it's a $500 million ancient ship. Not only that, but the ship is also loaded with hidden treasure. A group of 18 people looked after it. Because he knew so much about the riches, Victor couldn't possibly let him go. He now gives him the opportunity to work with him, but Nate declines. Victor claims that if you come with me, we can find your brother. Nate returns home and begins to look through his brother's belongings. Later, he accepts to collaborate with Victor. We see Nate giving Victor a cross sign the next morning. He clarifies that this is not a cross sign, but rather the key to the riches. One of the keys is claimed by Victor, and the other must be stolen fast. The other key, Victor claims, is in the hands of an auction house. That key will be shown to you shortly. We'll have to get that key as soon as possible. After visiting that company, Victor snatches the key. He was on his way back from the location where he had stolen the key. A female named Brett appears after aiming the knife at Victor's throat. In handing over this key to me, she is obeying her boss's directions. She was following orders from her superior. This was Victor's old adversary. They were both fighting for this key when. In the meantime, some guards come, which Victor exploits. He flees after receiving the key. After acquiring the key, Victor heads to Barcelona. They come across a girl named Fraser, who has already met Victor. She, on the other hand, has never met Nate and is curious about him. Victor addresses him as an old acquaintance. The second key, Nate realizes, is with Fraser, not Victor. "Why did you lie to me?" Nate confronts Victor and demands. According to Fraser, you could be fully oblivious of the scenario. While they were arguing, Fraser leaves the scene while snatching the key. As they chased each other, Fraser rushed ahead of Nate. Fraser, who was sitting in her car, was getting ready to leave. Nate, however, emerges in front of her automobile, followed by Victor. He tells Fraser to take the entire prize, but you don't know what it is. Only Nate is aware of the scenario, and Fraser decides to help them after hearing about it. Nate explains that the treasure was hidden near the chapel many years ago by those 18 people. When they get to the church, Nate notices the cards his brother has given him shortly after arriving. As a result, he is certain that he is in the correct location. 3 of them are currently sheltering in the basement of the church. They discover where the key is activated. The key was kept under the statue. They are unsure, however, which way the key should rotate. Victor reads from the book that both keys must be rotated clockwise. As a result, the statue begins to erupt with arrows. 3 of them, though, are unharmed. Nate and Fraser revolve in an anti-clockwise way after taking another risk. A route appears behind the statue after that. The trail passed via a cave. Later, Nate informs Victor that we will need to use separate routes to get there. He claims that Fraser and I will follow in his footsteps. You'll choose one way, and Victor and Nate will use the GPS on their phones to guide you. One road leads to Nate and Fraser, while the other leads to Victor. While traveling via the underground path, Nate and Fraser arrive at a tavern. There was a back door that no one knew about. Before they depart that path, some people attack them. Nate fights with him to stop him. In contrast, Fraser is attempting to open the door. After Nate and Fraser have left, the door is opened. They find a third door that can be unlocked using the cross key. As Fraser tries to open the door, it begins to leak. Because the first door must be opened before proceeding to the second. It can only be opened by Victor. Victor was attempting to open the door on the opposite side. Meanwhile, the same girl who had attacked him before reappears. Both of them are fighting hard. Nate and Fraser, on the other hand, were submerged and on the verge of passing out. Victor knocks the girl out and locks the door with the key. Nate and Fraser make it out of that door safely in the end. It was now my turn to walk through the last door. No one, however, knows how to open that door. From a hole outside, Victor was keeping a watch on them. Meanwhile, Nate uses his reasoning to ask Fraser to deliver the other key from Victor. Victor, on the other hand, is suspicious of them and refuses to hand over the second key. Victor is forced to hand over the key because he has no other option. Nate discovers a symbol on a door. The same symbol appears on the door when Nate combines the 2 keys. As a result, the door is opened. They see 3 enormous pots when they step through the entrance. Victor, on the other hand, was constantly interrogating Nate about the riches. To find out what's within the pots, Nate flips Fraser over. Fraser noticed there was a lot of salt in the pots as he looked inside. It means that no treasure was discovered. One of the 3 pots breaks in the meantime. They see a map appears from that location. The true map for finding the treasure was this. As soon as Fraser notices Nate, he raises his rifle. "What do you think? Victor has told you the truth," she asks. She shoots Nate in the head with the revolver, knocking him out. She then proceeds to take the map from there. As she walks away, she also takes the keys with her. Victor approaches Nate afterwards and notices him passing out. When Nate wakes up, they discover Fraser has fooled him. Nate asks about his brother when he regains consciousness. What have you kept hidden from me, and what have you kept hidden from me? He claims to have gone treasure hunting with your brother many years ago. We needed to steal a book for that, which we accomplished. As we returned to Mercado, the inhabitants opened fire on us. As a result, your brother was hit by a gunshot and died as a result. He becomes emotional and begins to cry after hearing this. He tells him that you have abandoned him. You're counting on me to bring that prize back to you. Victor, on the other hand, accuses me of lying. However, it was also your brother's wish for you to continue his goal after he passed away. Nate promises that I will go find the treasure and help him achieve his goal. But after that, we'll have to choose our own courses. Later, Fraser is seen with Brett and her supervisor, hinting that she is employed by them. Brett's boss has told her that she will now report to Fraser. Later, Brett's boss takes his staff on a treasure hunt via plane. They've brought everything necessary with them. Brett's boss boasted about it to everyone, adding, "It's my treasure. My family has been looking for that for a long time." In the meantime, Brett arrives and kills his boss. Fraser realizes that she will kill herself after killing her boss. As a result, she hides in the plane vehicle to save her life. If her soldiers come across Fraser, Brett instructs them to shoot her. In the meantime, Nate and Victor were on the lookout for Fraser. Arrive at the airport while still in the car's dicky. While looking for Fraser, they seized the map and utilized it to their advantage. Later, Brett and Fraser start shooting. They were exchanging bullets. Victor informs Nate that we've discovered the map and should go via parachute. Victor flees via parachute, as Nate approaches Brett and says, "Did you kill my brother?" He opens the parachute after securing the load with it. As a result, the plane's luggage starts to emerge. Brett's men start shooting at Victor and Nate. Nate's foot gets jammed in goods in the meantime. He starts tossing the suitcase about in the air. He returns to the plane after many attempts. Fraser, on the other hand, begins to jump from the plane by stealing a car. Nate was also standing there when the automobile crashed into him. Fraser asks Nate to open the parachute as they both fall, but Nate hasn't brought any. They were in the air, but Nate opened a cargo parachute in the meanwhile. That package will contain both of them. They use the parachute to go to the sea. After arriving at a beach, they check into a motel. After checking into the hotel, they attempt to comprehend the map. Fraser, on the other hand, is completely lost and falls asleep. Nate spends the entire night studying the map and taking notes. Fraser wakes up the next morning to find that he has understood the map and taken notes. She once again demonstrates her wit by departing for the treasure while taking the note. Nate notices the map has vanished when he wakes up. When he sees this, he smiles because he has misrepresented the location on the map. Nate is aware of the true location. Nate arrives at the map's location in the next scene. That occurred in a cave on an island. On the other hand, Brett has been keeping a close eye on Nate. Nate, on the other hand, jumps into the water to get to the cave. He sees two enormous ships, and many people have died trying to find it. Nate discovers a large amount of gold when he boards the ship. In the meantime, he hears Victor arriving. As he watches this, Nate is horrified and wonders how he got here. He claims, "You've put me in touch with your doctors." When Brett and her people come, they are both looking for the riches. Nate and Victor flee as they notice them. Brett gathers her crew and prepares to fly aboard the ships. because she is well aware that the ship, in addition to the loot, is extremely expensive. Victor and Nate appear, announcing their plan to take the spacecraft. They attack the ship from the front, and you must then combat the guard. Nate was thrashing the guards as well. The guards are submerged in the water. After killing the guards one by one, they gain control of the ship. When Brett notices this, she becomes agitated and attacks them with another ship. Victor was immediately summoning a helicopter in order to escape Brett's grasp. As Brett's soldiers stormed Nate's ship, he was being pursued by Brett. Meanwhile, Brett was preparing to attack Nate's ship while they all fought Nate. Brett's helicopter is damaged as a result of Nate's attack on it. Meanwhile, her ship collides with the mountain, destroying it completely. Brett escapes the building and lands aboard Brett's ship. She informs Nate that someone who isn't mine can't possibly be someone else's. After saying this, she throws the ship's engine into the sea. As a result, the ship and helicopter are unable to continue their journey. Victor's gold bag is also starting to fall apart. After putting his chopper on autopilot, he goes to save the luggage. Brett and Nate, on the other side, are fighting on the ship. After departing, Nate tries to board the helicopter, but Brett is on his tail. Victor gives up his gold-encrusted bag. After throwing the bag at her, Brett falls into the river. Meanwhile, the rope holding to the helicopter on the ship snaps. Nate is flipped over by Victor, but the ship as a whole is flipped over by Brett. As a result, she dies, and the ship begins to float after breaking. "We still have a chance to get this gold," Nate informs Victor. Victor, on the other hand, comes to a complete stop and says that the land is now the property of the government. Victor is forced to pilot the helicopter as they attempt to grab it. Nate tells him not to be unhappy, and he takes the gold from his pocket slowly. Both of them begin on a positive tone. At the conclusion of the film, we see a speedboat chasing Victor and Nate. She is none other than Fraser, whom Nate duped. Nate's brother was still alive and imprisoned, as we can see. The film draws to an end with that. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, to get a notification, every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.